are a visionary, an entrepreneur, a business owner. You want to make money from your passion and create the freedom that you've dreamed of. But it's slow. The income is slow, the impact is slow, and the freedom is slow. And here's the kicker. You've actually never been busier. You're working longer than ever, burning through daylight, and your family have forgotten who you are. You're tired and frustrated and you can't even sleep well at night. The business just feels so heavy, and all you ever wanted to do was just make the money you want to make, doing the things that you want to do. And that's where I come in. Hi, if we haven't met yet, my name is Dr. Brooklyn Storm, and I'm the host of the Business Acceleration Podcast, where we shift your business from heavy to light, time poor to time abundant, and from income lack to income growth. We're going to achieve it together with my 20 years experience as a psychologist, helping people just like you to break through their barriers. And we're going to throw in a little of the woo as well. So thank you so much for pushing play today. Let's begin. Hello and welcome to another episode of the Business Acceleration Podcast. I am so pleased that you're here because I have some amazing news to share with you. A little while ago, I think it was either last year or the year before when I first started really, I've got to give you the backstory. Okay, so the backstory was, and it's all kind of a bit of a blur because so much has been happening, but I think it was about 18 months ago now, might be a bit longer. I became very aware of what, in my opinion, were some things that weren't very nice that were happening in the field of psychology in Australia. And it's my understanding, and it's only my impression and my opinion, that what was our peak body had been actually advocating for the group of one psychologist to the detriment of everybody else behind all of our backs, and we didn't know about it, and it was really, really horrible. And they've done this great big marketing thing, in my opinion, that has completely misled not only the public about, the role of different psychologists in Australia, but also about their effectiveness, to the extent that now we've got one group of psychologists that get paid proportionally higher than everybody else as a result of all of this misinformation. And it's just, in my opinion, and I have to keep saying in my opinion, obviously, because of legal reasons, but in my opinion, it is not okay and it's not acceptable. And anyway, so it's rocked the world of psychology in Australia, and it's going to have all of these big knock-on effects. And it was around the time that I heard about this, after I came out of my bout of denial that this was actually happening, that then I started really amping up my interest in spiritual things. And as a result of that, one time I went to a workshop, and this workshop went for a few days, and it was in Melbourne, Australia. And at the end of that workshop, I kind of, I was saying to people, hey, I think this is what I want to do for work instead of psychology now. Like psychology, not because of the work itself, but really because of what's happening politically, has left a really bad taste in my mouth. It's out of alignment with me. It's not sitting right with my values. I'm done. I'm over it. And I think I really want to do manifesting for a job, or something to do with manifesting and spirituality. And everybody was like, yep, go for it, do it. But I was secretly scared, okay? I was scared because I was thinking, well, this is my livelihood here, guys. Like, if I just stop doing it, how on earth am I going to support myself? And so, anyway, the last 12 months or so has been a bit of a roller coaster, a real kind of tug of war between feeling trapped in a profession that I no longer agree with. And as I said, not because of the actual work. I love psychology and I love helping my clients and I love seeing them get good outcomes. But I don't like all this political BS that's going on. And for that reason, it's been really, really difficult. So anyway, with all of this yuckiness, of course, comes clarity. And you get really clear about what you don't want to do. And you also get really clear about what you would rather be doing. There's a universal law around that, right? So anyway, I got really clear and I thought, I just have to find a way to do it. So anyway, this idea of exiting psychology has been on my mind for about 12 months. And it's over the last 12 months that I really started to think to myself, I need a better plan for developing an exit strategy. And then was in July, I got my headshots done, and then the whole business just kind of up-leveled from there. You know, we had the LA trip, we had the London trip, there was Sky TV, there was all these articles that were coming out, you know, magazines I write for, all of this, loving it. And it was a real sign for me that I'm on the right track. And I wanted to really embrace that. And then what's happened is the more I've been learning about quantum physics and the more I've been learning about spirituality, the more I've fallen in love with it. And I found it increasingly difficult to show up for work with things like, for example, different funding bodies that I have to work under and how they want you to work, and it's very prescriptive and I don't like it. And then on top of that, all of this BS around different rates of pay for different psychologists, which, by the way, they're not even as qualified as half the other psychologists out there. It's crazy. It's a whole other podcast. But anyway, guess what? Last night I went to bed and I was thinking to myself, I need a change. And then guess what? This morning I woke up and I just thought, I'm going to do it. I'm just going to stop providing services that are funded. And that's going to be my first step out of psychology and into this other business that I really want to do. So I'm really going to focus on increasing the coaching, getting the courses up and going, doing the workshops and the public speaking, which I love, and writing books. Yes, writing books, of course, writing more books. And when I think about all of those things, I get really, really excited, but I don't get really excited about seeing clients, not because of the clients, but because of the, all the BS that's happening in my profession. So today I decided I'm just not going to do it. And then I felt so empowered as a result of that. And I jumped on Facebook and I declared it. And I said to the world, guys, I am not doing this anymore. And, you know, if you asked me to do this, which I was asked to do this by a coach that I had about 12 months ago, he said to me, hey, you need to just make this decision and run with it. But I wasn't ready. But the thought of it back then scared the wits out of me. I was so scared. I was like, well, how am I going to support myself? And what will people think about me? And da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. You know, that monkey mind chatter that happens. But today, when I did it, I felt lit up. I felt like I had this new energy. I felt like life was starting again. I felt hope again. I felt joy again. I felt excitement again. And anyway, it's been really, 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 really well received. And I've had so much support from colleagues and I've been blown away by it. And it's just reinforced to me that, yeah, I'm on the right track and I'm just going to do it. So, yep, guess what? From the 1st of January, because I want to, still operate with integrity and do all of the right things ethically by my existing clients and see them out to the end of the year. But from the 1st of January 2020, I'm no longer going to be delivering services that are funded by places such as, for example, Medicare. I've got other people here at the practice that can see those clients. That's all right, but it's just something that's not aligned with me anymore. And so I'm not going to do it anymore. I will still be available for psychology and I'll still do that. And I will still do spiritual mentoring and I will still do supervision for psychologists and I will still do all of the other stuff. But I'm going to start cutting back one at a time all of the different organizations that provide funding to see clients. And so Medicare is the first one. And I'm so excited about it. So here's what I wanted to share with you. You know, one of the things that I hear as a coach for my clients when I'm talking to them about stuff is they say to me, oh, I've got to wait for all my ducks to get in a row. And they'll say to me, oh, it's not the right timing. It's not the right timing. Guys, I want you to know the ducks are not lining up. They're not. They're never lining up. And is there any such thing as the right time? You know, I think there's only really the present time, right? We don't know what's going to happen tomorrow and we can't get back yesterday. So I think you have to start thinking about what steps you can take today. But I have been there too. So I understand if you're feeling resistance. I get it. And you're probably wondering, what was it that got me to close the gap from where I was 12 months ago in terms of making this decision to cut back on my services to where I am now, which is I've actually done it. And in all honesty, it's really been around the concept of alignment. Working under some funding models just does not sit right with me anymore. I don't want to be told how I've got to work with my clients. I don't want to be told I've got a time limit. I think a session is a session is a session. You know, some sessions you don't need a full hour. There are other times where you want more than an hour. I don't get this whole time limit business. It doesn't sit well with me. I feel like that's more about business and money and stuff like that. And that's not where I am anymore. I just want to take as long as it takes to help that client get their breakthrough, you know, things like that. So for me, it was recognizing, oh, this doesn't feel right for me anymore. Oh, this doesn't feel good for me anymore. And then thinking, okay, so now I know what I don't want. What do I want? What would feel right? And tune into that. And guys, that is what alignment is. And you can do it too. And here are 3 prompts that you can use if you're questioning as well, like I was 12 months ago. Here's what you can do. Number 1, write out what you really want today. Just write it out and be honest. No one's going to look at it. It's just your private notes. Make a list. Write out all the things that you want as far as work, because this is a business podcast, but it might be in your personal life or something like that. Okay, that's step 1. Step 2, write out what you have. Okay, write out a list of all of the things in that field or that area or that topic or that subject that you already have. Now you've got 2 lists. What I want you to do is do a bit of a compare and contrast here and ask yourself, okay, what do I need to make happen in order to close the gap from where I am now to where I want to be? What do I need to make happen to close that gap from where I am now to where I'd rather be? Okay. Some people in a spiritual world, in a very general sense, might call this something like collapsing a timeline. All we're doing really is we're starting to bring the future into our present. We're making it happen more quickly. This is a different type of manifesting. Maybe even there's 1 or 2 things on the list of what you want that you can start enjoying right now. Maybe the little things that are really achievable, okay? And even if you can do that, that's you stepping into the version of yourself or the version of your business or the version of your life that you really want to have. How cool is that? That is so flipping cool. My gosh, I love it so much. Anyway, guys, you can do this too. Don't let anybody push you or bully you into making any decisions. If they don't feel right, they're not. Okay? You've got to do what feels right for you. And that's what alignment is. Don't feel trapped. You always have free will. That's what distinguishes us from all the other animals and minerals and vegetables and everything else on the planet, right? We've got the ability to think, and we've got the ability to make choices, and we've got free will. Nothing is planned out or mapped out, so to speak. Okay, you can have what you want, but you need to know what it is that you want. Look at what you've already got, and then look at closing that gap. All right. Anyway, Today's the last day to enroll in the podcast course. So if it's on your list of things to do, enroll today while it's still only $97. From tomorrow, it's going to be $197. If you enroll with a friend, you're both going to get a free 1-hour coaching session with me online to talk about your podcast ideas, or to talk about your business, or to talk about manifesting something else in your personal life. If you haven't subscribed to the email yet, please do, because I love to send out extra little bits and pieces that I don't share anywhere else. I hope you have a really, really beautiful day. If you've got a dream, just reach out and go for it, guys. You can do it. If I can do it, come on, you can do it too. We're no different. We're more alike, you and I, than we're different. You've got this. All right, I'll talk to you later. Thanks so much for listening. Bye, guys. Thank you so much for listening today. I really hope that you enjoyed it and got a lot of value from it. Help me help others by sharing this podcast. And if you feel called to leave a review on Apple Podcasts, remember to let me know so that I can send you a very special thank you gift. Now go and build your dream business, and I will see you next time. Bye.